2 weeks before opening day, they walked into their empty shop, went to switch the lights on, and there was no electricity. Hello, and welcome back to the Fashion Brand Clinic podcast. I'm Elizabeth Stiles, host of this podcast, as well as the Shopping Forecast podcast with Catherine Erdly, and I am a fashion brand consultant. In this episode, I have got Alyssa and Lily with me, the two American women behind ROVE London. It's a multi-brand boutique on Portobello Road that they opened in June 2023, having barely known each other when they decided to do it. Now, I know most of you listening don't own a shop and maybe aren't planning to. Stay with me because this is one of the most useful conversations I've had on wholesale, if you're wholesaling or want to wholesale. It's also a serious lesson in the fact that perseverance pays off. Because Alyssa and Lily are buyers, they are people on the other end of the email that you have been sending. And over the next 40 minutes, they are going to tell you why they say yes to a brand, why they say no, what makes them drop one, and what a late delivery actually does to a boutique's margin. I feel like you don't often get to hear that side of the conversation said out loud. They also talk about doing it from nothing, no trading history, no social media, no landlord who would actually take them seriously, and the one thing that they would go back and change and do differently. So for now, here is Alyssa and Lily. Alyssa and Lily, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
So excited to be here.
I always call you Alyssa and Lily, so I'm glad you're sat in that.
I even say that when I say our names. I say yours first.
Alphabetical.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about who you are, what you did before the business that we're going to be talking about today.
I have been in the fashion industry now for about 10 years, which is a little bit crazy. I started...
And this is where I say, oh my God, you don't look it at all.
But it's flown by, honestly.
Yeah.
And I started off working in corporate retail in fashion buying and merchandising. I started in a training program where you kind of just learn everything about the business. And then at my previous job, you're given a department and a brand to oversee, and you do everything from pick out the colors that you want, trend forecasting, pick out fabrics, and then all the way through to the actual sitting down with your planners and buying those items. So they kind of used to call that role the hub of the wheel because you touch almost every single aspect of the business. So I did that for about 7 years, part of the time in the US and then part of the time in London here. So it's the job that got me to the UK, which was amazing. And then partway through that, I met Lily through mutual friends, and that's where our ROVE journey kind of began. But before I get into that, I'll let you.
Well, before moving to London, I was actually living in Australia. I graduated uni. I'm just going to go there for a year, work in a boutique, very casual. Then I ended up making a career out of it. I was managing a couple stores at the time. And then I went into wholesale before this. So I was working at a wholesale agency. Loved all the Aussie brands, loved it. And then my director actually let me move to London and work remotely, which was great. So I was trying to build relationships with boutiques here in London. So expanding from Australia to the international UK market, which was great. I always had a dream of opening up a boutique. And then I met Alyssa.
Yes.
And that's kind of where our journey began.
Yeah. So we've had ROVE now for 3 years. We just hit that in June, which was,
it seems like forever, but it also seems like it's been really quick.
Yes.
So it's been great so far.
It's such a beautiful store. I have
you.
another podcast, which you guys know, called The Shopping Forecast, and I hosted my podcast launch party inside the store and spent a small fortune, and we love it.
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to.
Yes.
I'm we're staring at these clothes every day. I'm it's dangerous for our bank accounts.
You just want to take everything off the rack and wear it yourself.
Yeah.
You barely knew each other before starting this business, which is why I wanted to invite you on, because I think you've got such a fascinating story. Tell me how this all came about. So you said you met through a mutual friend.
Met through mutual friends. And I think what was great is we immediately bonded. One, we were both in the industry already. And then we were both American. Obviously, the Americans kind of find each other in London. But we were both bonding over the frustration that we had that we couldn't find our favorite brands to shop here in London. And I think that's where our first initial idea of ROVE came about. We wanted to find a place that customers could come and they could find these American and Australian brands that you can't typically find in London.
It was such a pain point too, especially like you were coming from Australia, I was coming from the US. So many of our brands, you'd have to order it in, get hit with those unexpected like taxes, duties, everything that you
the returns,
everything. And we were like, there has to be somewhere where we can try these things on, and it just didn't exist for us.
So the fact that we had that shared ambition and shared idea was amazing, and I think that we could trust each other because we both had worked in the business for so long and on different sides of the business, which is really great. So we can work off of each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, our backgrounds really complemented each other in that way, which was amazing.
Yeah. And then we were planning for about a year. So within that year, we definitely
got to know each other.
Yeah. We bounced off each other. We became really great friends. Yeah. So we built that.
And was there ever a moment where one of you was like, I don't want to do it, I got scared?
Not in the planning process. I think we were like, no, we're all in. Like, once the lease started being signed, brands are on.
Yeah, you start getting stock. We were holding it at Lily's apartment.
My apartment was a warehouse.
Yes. It was insane. And we're like, okay, it's real now. Like, everything is like
no backing
put
out.
In motion. There's no turning back. And I think at that point, we were like, yeah, we are just obviously fully all in and we're ready to go for it. Take the plunge. We launched the store and our online website the same day. So we just and quit our previous jobs.
Yes. So I mean, it was like
quit our jobs. So
having the support of each other and also our friends and family like made it a little bit easier. Don't get me wrong. Once we opened, I would say, is when we were like, what are we doing?
What happened? Yes. I was like, I can't believe we just quit our jobs and we're just doing this. We have no idea what we're doing or what we got ourselves into. But
I was the same. Like, I was like, I've got my 3-month savings. I'm good. I'm just going to do it. And then almost to the day, 3 months in, I was like,
yes.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it was like the night before we were launching. Actually, it was like a few hours before. The racks fell on the wall.
No.
Electricity's not working.
I'm crying.
She's crying. So it was like all
chaos.
You think some sort of like demon is like, this isn't meant to be.
No, exactly.
It was like the biggest high, I would say, getting our keys. Lily and I were so excited. We're taking pictures. Yeah, popping champagne in the store. We're like, okay, let's get to work because we had to do a full remodel ourselves
within 2 weeks.
Within 2 weeks of opening. And we're like, okay, we got this. Go to turn on the lights. No electricity.
No.
It was like, what are we going to do right now? So, I mean, you make it work. When there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
And it was just...
What is it they say? It will all be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is. I mean, thank God we had each other. Like, because when one's crying, the other one has to pick the other up.
Yes.
So it's like
you have one has to be up and one has to be down. Like
so we meet each other in the middle, which is great. So
and how many stores did you look at before you found the one that you're in now? And what were the non-negotiables that you were looking for?
So we ended up looking at only 5.
Yeah.
Which
it's not that many.
Not that many, but I think our requirements were kind of tight. Like we always knew we wanted to be in West London in an area with good footfall.
Mm-hmm.
We also knew that we wanted a great local community surrounded by other small businesses. We didn't really want to be on a massive high street surrounded by chains and like the high street brands. I just think
that's it.
Yes.
It's not a vibe, is it?
No, it's not charming, not on brand at all. So we kind of narrowed our search down into Notting Hill and then kind of just went from there of like what properties are available. And we had that ambition. We want to open in June.
Yes.
So we were kind of on a tight search.
Also, I mean, a couple landlords probably wouldn't have worked with us because we weren't established yet. So we did have that obstacle as well. And then, I mean, we were so lucky with what we found.
We are.
You were.
I didn't see the vision.
She didn't see the vision.
No.
I'm like, trust me, it is there. I lived around the corner, so I'm like, this place is going to be it. Like more and more is popping up. It is great.
The place was a cafe.
Yeah.
So
okay,
the whole place was teal and black.
Oh yeah,
bright teal, and there was a giant kitchen unit in the middle of it.
Community center.
Yes, it literally it looks exactly what it looked like.
And we walk in, and I'm like, we can just like it wasn't even on the market yet. I think they was like, I have another one around the corner. Let's just go see it. And I'm like, okay, fine. not going to be it. And Lily went back and she's like, okay, I went back. I think this is the place. Like, we can do this.
I can feel it.
I felt
You
it.
felt it. Are you more witchy? Like,
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I have strong intuition, I think. So I definitely felt the energy. I'm getting the tingling sensation.
Yes. I'm like, don't think so.
No, and I also had my partner, he works in construction. So it was us two and Alyssa's fiance.
My fiance, like a tiny bit of credit, but like the moral support.
Moral support was there. So it was just the four of us who flipped it.
Yeah.
The entire thing. So
we're never touching paintbrush again.
Never again. Never again. So no, but like it built character.
It did.
Oh, we had sweat, blood,
a lot of tears.
Place. Tears. Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, it was great. And we're very happy with the location. Now we just need to revamp. Like we did what we could to get open. Now we're ready
to like take it to the next level. We want it, to feel elevated and premium. And we want the aesthetic of like what the store is and the brands that we carry to match the interiors. So that's our next step.
Early spring.
Yeah. Remember to do before and after pictures.
Oh, yes.
Because I always get, if you like go and even clean your house, I'm like, I wish I'd taken a picture of how grubby this was before.
No, it'll be full 180.
Yes, definitely.
And what I didn't realise, because obviously we met for a drink last week and you were saying that Notting Hill is like American Central. I did not know this.
Well, I think, they see the movie and they're like, oh,
that's where I'm moving.
That makes sense.
I'm not gonna lie, it did get me, like, embarrassed to say, but it did.
Yeah. It's a very cute film.
Yeah, it's a cute film. And it's great, but that's not what
it didn't have an impact in.
No. Yeah, we weren't really thinking about the Americans.
No, we weren't, which we probably should. They're one of our largest, like,
I was going to say, they come to you?
Oh,
because,
because they're like, you have this brand and we can't get it over here. And we're like, yes, that was our whole concept.
That's literally the business plan.
Exactly. Yes. So, but now they're our target customer, definitely.
Yes.
They're amongst it.
But you really attract them because there's like that familiarity there. And
for sure. And they come in and they're like, oh,
you're American too, let's chat. And like,
like attracts like.
Yeah, exactly.
And even Mary that works for you, she's American as well.
Yes.
A quick one from me, because this next bit is the reason I wanted them on the show in the first place. If you have ever sent a line sheet to a boutique and heard absolutely nothing back, you are about to find out why. Alyssa and Lily are about to talk on how they got brands on board, which brand finally said yes and unlocked all of the others, and how long they had to chase the one that is now their bestseller.
We got a lot of our brands up front, but there were definitely a few that you kind of, because we weren't established yet, they didn't feel comfortable working with us, which fair, that's okay. 𝐬𝐮 is our best-selling brand right now. It took a little bit of
chasing them. Yes, lots of follow-ups.
Yes, exactly. It took about 1.5 years, but they wanted to keep their distribution tight, which is great because that's what we want. We don't want to stock brands that you see everywhere. Mm-hmm. So that's fair. But the ones that did work with us,
it definitely like the chicken and egg situation. So they wanted to know who else we had on board at that time. And when you have no one on board yet, you're kind of like, well, here's the brands that we're approaching. It's like, okay, let us know when this one's on board. Let us know when this one's on board. And I think the one that kind of got some of them in was 𝐶𝐭. It's definitely that more luxury, premium, higher price point. Like they do their own fashion shows. They do amazing campaigns. So I think when people recognize that, okay, they're taking a chance on them, they believe, like we send them our brand books. So we're like, this is what we're aiming to do. Mm-hmm. When they see that this other established brand believes it, they'll kind of buy into it too. So that was a big one for us.
Yeah, definitely.
And why do brands say no? Like, what do you mean when they say they don't want to take a risk on you? Because you're purchasing their stock. And what was it? Are they worried about your cash flow?
And we honestly hadn't launched a website, social media, nothing. So there was nothing that could show that their brand is going to work where it is.
And you're representing them.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
And they don't want to be in our store when they're sitting next to a brand that don't align with them at all. Mm-hmm. So they want to make sure that they're showing up in the right way. But I think we were talking about this earlier. Like if we could have gone back and done it, the fact that we didn't really push anything on socials, we didn't build that kind of trust, not only with the brands before, but like starting the customer journey earlier, hindsight's 2020.
Yes,
but, like that would have been the
You
one
were too
thing
busy crying with a paintbrush.
Exactly. 100%.
Exactly.
So that's what you would have done differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think the one positive thing that we did have that brands were willing to take a chance is they weren't represented here yet in the UK.
Yeah.
So like that's my ticket for hitting the UK
Getting
market.
in.
So
And
I think
you
that
guys
definitely
are
helped.
new to the store, but you've not new to the industry.
No.
Yeah. So I guess that may have like worked in your favor as
definitely.
well.
And then I mean, we were meeting these brands, talking with them, so I think they got to get to know us and see our vision a bit more. So definitely helped.
And what about buying then? Is it different now to how you did it previously?
Yeah.
Very different. I mean, when we first opened, it was all stock on hand. So you're just buying kind of like the leftovers that aren't selling what the brand is currently has for their current collection. So it'd be random pieces, random sizes. It was never the best seller. So you're kind of, there's
no
just
marketing imagery or campaign
That's
imagery
such a
behind
hard
those.
place to start from.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we're like, okay, what can we get? And what do you want? Because obviously we need to fill this store. So we're
It's
like,
opening
we
in
can't.
June regardless.
Yeah, so we have to take something. So, I mean, we did, obviously, like everything in there represents us and our aesthetic. So we did what we could, but it's definitely changed a ton since we first opened.
In what way?
Well, now we buy 5 months in advance. So when we go, we're going to Paris market 4 times a year, which is great. So we're definitely planning ahead, and we are able to choose the best pieces as opposed to the slim pickings that we had. So the buying process is definitely changed.
Our brand mix is completely different.
Very.
Like everything at first was obviously just based off of the two of us and our instincts, but now it's a bit of a mix. So since we've been able to stock those brands and see how they perform, see what the customer likes, get a lot of feedback from them on, hey, what do you actually want to see here that isn't represented? We've pivoted a ton. I would say like we only have about 10% of the brands that we open with.
I know. We were talking about it this morning. We're like, wait, there's actually not that many.
No.
They've definitely evolved over the years.
And what were the brands that people were asking for?
Darwin.
That was a big one.
Staud's a big one.
Yeah.
People love Faithful. A lot of the Australian brands like
St. Agni.
Posse.
People still ask for Sir and Dish.
I know.
Those are like,
we can't get
Dish.
Sir, potentially. Yeah, it might be coming, but
Watch this space.
watch this. We're always changing. I mean, even after this summer, we're like, okay, let's relook at for next summer. What are some things that we're going to keep on? What brands work? What brands don't?
And it definitely varies season after season just based on, we buy a lot of Australian brands. Unfortunately, the seasons are completely flip-flop. So sometimes some of their best collections, it's for when it's freezing cold here and we're like, we want these pieces, we love them, but they're not going to sell in February.
And your cash flow can't cope with like holding on to them for 6 months. That's crazy.
No, and we tried that in the beginning. We're like, oh, people might want like a little winter sun. No, it doesn't work.
They don't.
Our customers
like,
buy
winter sun capsule.
No, they're buy now, wear now. 100%.
No, we do ebb and flow out of brands throughout the year just based on season 2.
Yeah. And do you buy collections or do you buy pieces or kind of a bit of both? Or
I mean, a bit of both. I would say they're huge collections that we're seeing. So we're kind of picking our own and making our own story. From that, I mean, the brands will kind of go around and they'll be like, these are the best sellers. Yeah. These are the styles that we're going to be pushing. So we know that a customer is going to see that multiple times. Yes. If they're pushing it, then we're like, okay, this is probably one that we need.
They're kind of doing your marketing for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best bit, I think, of having a multi-brand store too. Yeah.
Just a bit of context for this next part of our conversation. 4 times a year, these two are on the 6 a.m. Eurostar to Paris for 3 days of back-to-back appointments. If you have ever wondered what actually happens in a buying trip, on an appointment, who's in the room, how the edit gets made, and how 2 people with the same budget end up buying completely different things. Eurostar flight.
Eurostar. Usually the earliest one. We're usually on that 6 a.m. train.
Yeah.
And we are back to back in appointments for 2 and a bit days, 2-3 days.
Yeah.
So we'll go see brands directly, like meet with either the designers, sometimes meet with the founders of the brands, and they present the collections to us, or we go to big showrooms. So we'll visit 8
multiple
different brands at once or something.
Yeah.
And then see multiple collections. And then while we're there, we kind of select our favorite pieces, make our choices for the store, which is always really fun to like pare our edit down and like see, okay, like it's actually really fun because other buyers are in there and their buys might be
very
completely different from the same brand. So it's kind of
buying
nice.
that for?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're always like, where are they from? Yeah. Like, are they from London? Who's that one? Yeah, right. So it's always fun.
And do you agree with what you want to buy?
90% of
Most of the time, yeah. We never argue, but there's definitely times when we're like, okay,
right.
remember that I don't think that one's going to work.
Yeah.
I tried to push something the other day and Alyssa's like, no. We've tried it and it won't work, even though you like it.
And I'm like, I know it's cute.
Just you buy it for yourself. Yeah. And how much of it is like data versus intuition? Do you kind of go off of what's selling, use that initially, and then kind of everything else is a cherry on top?
I think when we first opened, it was all intuition.
Yeah.
Everything we like, I'm like...
It's our dream wardrobe.
So
if we like it, of course they're going to like it.
Yes.
Not always the case.
No, not always. But now it's 50-50. I mean, it's still instinct.
Mm-hmm.
We're representing the brand. Anytime we're wearing pieces, customers love it. It's like we're advertising ourselves. So it's like we do want to love the pieces and they can tell when we're genuinely passionate about it.
Because it's the ones we're always wearing and always talking about.
Yeah.
So,
but then you got to look at the data side too. I mean, like this summer we're looking at, there was this one dress that sold out within 24 hours. We're like, what was it? And we're like, the price point. It was an easy mini. We didn't think it was going to be like this huge thing. And we're like, okay, now we actually need to look at that. And next summer reevaluate
people
like
everything.
Easy minis every day, especially with the heat wave.
Yeah.
So you got to think about all the factors.
And what brand was that?
Faithful.
Australian.
And they're a good price point. Like,
One. And also like from a data standpoint, the best feedback we get is working in the store. So we are in there every single week. We get the feedback firsthand. So I'm like, okay, you might not see it in the numbers because our buys aren't very deep. So I'm like, I had 10 people try this on, but we didn't have their size.
Yes.
So okay.
It's sometimes not always going to show up on the number side. You have to get that constant feedback and constantly listen to them.
That must also be quite overwhelming as well. Because you're like, so-and-so asked for this, so-and-so asked for this. And you just feel like you've got to make everyone happy.
Well, it's more like hindsight. We're like, damn it, why didn't we buy more of that?
Yeah.
But then there's times that we buy
too much of something.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So
like, why did we buy so much of that?
Exactly. So you kind of have to balance it out. But
and you can't really plan, well, who knows now, like planning for heat waves was never a thing, but now maybe it is. I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
You can always count on at least one.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think the London customer wants ease. I think that's what we're finding.
Yeah.
Sometimes we try to go a little too crazy, like going special occasion. But like,
too fancy.
Too fancy. It's like they want the everyday. You want something to throw on, especially during the summer. I mean, that's how I feel too. So I can see how the customer wants that.
Yeah. And even, I don't know, I hear a lot of my friends who work in air-conditioned offices and it's freezing all the time. So they want to wear these cute little dresses, but like actually they've got a jacket on and you kind of just got to think of everything.
Yes, you really do.
If you're a fashion brand founder and you are tired of guessing your way through your marketing, this is for you. Listen up. Magnetic is my 6-month marketing accelerator program specifically designed for fashion brands who want consistent sales without constantly wondering where the next order's coming from. No more posting and just like fingers crossed, hoping. And we don't want launches that just feel like starting from zero, and definitely not leaning on discounts over and over and over again to shift the stock that you have. Instead, just think about building a marketing strategy that actually works and connects all the dots. So the right people find you, they trust you, and they keep coming back and turn into repeat customers. You get weekly coaching with me, the full training hub, monthly planning so that you're never winging it, all my templates, and a community of fashion founders who just get it. I keep each round to 25 people so that you are never just a face in the crowd and you can spread the cost monthly as well. And if you want to have a look, then just head over to elizabethstyles.co.uk/magnetic-5 and I'll pop the link in the episode description too. Right, where we left it, Alyssa and Lily were talking about how they decide what to buy. Now we get to the bit that nobody enjoys, what happens when you get it wrong? The piece you were completely certain about, that one you bought 15 of, the one that nobody wants. Here is how they cut it loose. Okay, if you're looking at the data, there is also like the emotional side of buying as well. Do you ever think, okay, that is going to be amazing, and then you're like, it just flops altogether?
Yeah. It happens
more often than you'd like.
Yes, it definitely has. And sometimes it just still puzzles us. We're like, we don't get it.
Like, why are you not buying this?
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Like, it's our favorite piece we saw, and we were like, we have to have it for the store. We have to have it for ourselves. We need 15 of them. It's going to be a bestseller. And then nobody does it.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It ticks every box and the price is right. And then something completely random that you just didn't give a second thought to is like the thing that everybody wants.
Exactly.
And,
I think it hurts me the most when I see like the actual brand or like one of the department stores has it. It's completely sold out. And we're like we know people want it. Like, we like, come on, we have it. Like, you can get it here.
Yeah.
And it's like, why don't they want it?
And then do you find it tough to like emotionally move on from that? Or since after having the brand for 3 years, are you kind of just getting used to sort of snipping the ties emotionally?
We have to. We have to. We're like, okay, you don't have time to waste. You have to pivot. And which is great about some of our brands is they allow us to swap in season. So this has only happened a few times because only a couple brands are able to absorb that stock. So we're like, okay, if this isn't working, we got to get rid of it now before it goes on sale or anything like that, and get in something that we know our customers are going to love. So it's nice to have that flexibility. It doesn't always happen, but it's nice when a brand can work with you on that.
Yeah. And I guess with you that you have the difference that everything has equal opportunity in store. It's not like, oh, I've not really pushed it enough on social media. It's like everyone's coming into store, everyone's seeing everything. I guess you could move it to the forward, or put it on a mannequin or something, but like otherwise it is just there for the taking. If it's not being picked up by people, you do have to move quickly. And I say that to people online as well, that, if you don't have a store, is it that you've not pushed it properly? Or you pushed it, they don't like it, move on. And I think people really dig their heels in the sand, and it's to their own detriment because it's just money sat in the warehouse that needs to go.
It probably helps a little bit that we're not the ones actually creating the designs. I do feel like if you were, you would take it gut wrenching. You would take it more personally. But it is like, to your point, when you move things around in the store, breathe new life in it, outfit a different way.
Yeah,
it works.
It's mad, isn't it? I remember I used to work at Hugo Boss, and there was this really, really ugly pink top. Nobody was buying it. And then it was sort of like a punk look, which I can't even imagine in Hugo Boss. Clearly, it's not right for the customer. And then we put it on a mannequin. We sold like 10 in a day. Yeah, look, I think there is like a confidence aspect with women sometimes as well. Like, some people come in, they know exactly what they're looking for. They know their style. But my dad's ex-girlfriend, she used to just go into Next and just buy head to toe what was on the mannequin and be like, I'll have everything.
We love a mannequin shopper.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about this today. You put an outfit together. It's not like, they were selling, but literally within that day, we sold 3 of that top. So it's like, okay, they needed to see how to style it, put it together. Yeah.
And kind of appease. Like, if you were to describe the different kind of women that came into a store, are they sort of like, can you break them down into be like, oh, this is a so-and-so kind of buyer? Or
I think we have a couple different customers. Like, there's definitely the ones that come in with intent. Yeah. They're coming in with intent to refresh their wardrobe. They know exactly what they're looking for, exactly what they want. And they'll come back every season, buy a couple pieces, maybe at once. And then like that will be it for them for a while, but we'll see them again. There are some that come in, those are like the emotional buyers. It's like they're just passing by. They may have never heard of us before, and they see something and they're like, I love it. I have to have it.
And when you said emotional, I thought you were going to be like, I broke up with my boyfriend. I want to go shopping.
That happens so often. Yeah. So-and-so got divorced yesterday.
Yeah,
like, I need a hot outfit. I need a date night outfit.
Oh, yeah.
We hear it all. I was like, we should also just start our own podcast of people saying
I know
all the things we hear from our customers.
People gossip.
Love to share.
Yes,
we do.
We love
appreciate it.
Yeah,
and like,
we
love when customers want to chat to us and just shoot the shit. But when you understand the brief, it's like, okay, I know you're looking for a hot outfit tonight.
Let's go.
I've also broken up with before. Let me find you exactly
this is what I would wear.
Yes.
I wanted to look hot.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's good to know that you've got all different kinds of people. And like when you were saying American people are coming in store, and you've got all different kinds of tourists coming to Notting Hill as well. Do you notice something like different based on nationality as well.
Definitely.
How do Americans shop differently to English people?
I actually think Americans spend a bit more.
Yes. That does not surprise me.
Yeah, they definitely do. And which is funny because they'll also be buying our American brands. They're like, oh, I'm in London. I wanna spend. I'm like, I'm on a special trip right now. It's unique because I'm getting it from this small business in London when I'm on holiday, but it is cute. So I definitely think that they spend a bit more. I mean, I actually, when I'm on vacation too, I will say like, I'm like, yes.
It's not real.
It's not.
It's holiday money.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's weird, even though they know they could probably get it cheaper at home. It doesn't
They're
matter.
just like on this high.
Yeah.
They just want to shop.
Yeah.
So, but even the local or like the expat American community, they definitely do spend more, I would say, than our British customer. Our British customer is definitely more conservative in the fact of like, let me think about this. Let me try it on.
Yeah.
I want to like
Marinate
less
on
like
it a little
impulsive.
bit. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're more conscious of like fabrics and I think things like that as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Like
just different.
Just totally different.
Yeah.
Very different.
But even the experience of like when an American comes into the store and they hear our accents, they're immediately chatting with us.
Yeah, I guess the trust is there straight away. And maybe because they're more familiar with those brands, whereas English people are like, I don't know what size is going to fit. Like, what does this label mean? And yeah. All right, here's the bit to screenshot if you're watching on YouTube. Pen and paper if you're listening. Alyssa and Lily are about to list out loud exactly what makes a brand a joy to work with and exactly what makes one a nightmare. Spoiler alert, it isn't the design or the price. It's a handful of deeply unglamorous, completely fixable things, and I would put money on at least one of them currently costing you a stockist. What makes a brand really enjoyable to work with?
A lot of our brands that are supportive of small businesses and want to support us, whether it's giving us digital assets every time a campaign comes out, they're giving us the imagery, they're giving us the inside scoop of what is going to be the best selling products. That makes it enjoyable.
Yes.
Deliveries being on time, 100% tick.
Yes, we were talking about that last week.
Yes, some things that are a little bit late.
Yes. Good communication. Brands that we go in and we're like, I cannot wait to see what Tressie is going to do for this collection.
Yes. Like ones that we're genuinely excited about too, and they're excited about. Like you can tell that they genuinely love what they're either selling or what they've created. So that's always fun to work with a brand like that.
And then some are actually flexible, like ones that are flexible with minimums, because we don't have the same budget as the big major retailers. So getting a brand that can understand that and support us as a small business. Yeah.
And with those delays then that you mentioned.
Joy.
The best. Yeah. That's, I guess a brand has that with their factory, that they think, oh, this is really annoying, it's a couple of weeks late. Whereas with you guys, it's just so out of your control because they're probably waiting on it from the factory, maybe, and then you're waiting on it from them. So it's kind of like double delayed.
And they're probably trying to fulfill some of their biggest accounts first.
Yeah. So we're
triple
the barrel
sometimes.
Yeah. We push back.
Yeah. What's the latest something has come in, would you say?
Oh, well, she just got a dress that was supposed to be delivered in January.
And it came last week?
In July.
After chasing of like, hey, where is the shipment?
It's a completely different season. And
I know. So that's where it really is frustrating because the brands will launch them at the time that they say they're going to.
And then we'll see other retailers launch them.
Yes. And we'll get them later. And it's like, that gives us such a small selling window. If sometimes we'll get it and it will already be on sale. So it does hurt us and hurt our margins when that happens.
It hurts us when our customer comes in. It's like, I just saw the latest collection. Do you have this? And we're like, we're getting it. We're trying. Like, you can pre-order it, but why would they don't want to pre-order it? They want it now. They're like, well, I'll just get it from Net-a-Porter then. It's like, but we have it. It's just not.
Yeah. And do you have any kind of flexibility with that? Like, if it is delayed by a certain amount, can you be like, I can't sell it past this point?
A cancel window, technically, if it's so much delayed that you can not accept those. But
I mean, it's like we also love those pieces, so we do want them in. So
you chose them for a reason. Yeah. And what about the brands that do sell really well? What do you think that they all have in common?
I think that they're harder to find in the UK, so customers can come in and they can try them all in person.
Yeah,
it's huge. I would say our brands are very different.
Aesthetically different.
Different. But they kind of fall in the same price point.
Very feminine.
Very feminine and
Yeah.
trendy, but also like classic, timeless. So
Quality.
yeah, people care about quality. So it's definitely those brands that.
Yeah. And like that exclusivity, because going back to Durham, you were saying you were one of like 4 stockists in England?
Yes,
Or
or
in
something
London?
like
I think in London.
Well, there's a couple, but it's majors, and then there's only a couple independents.
Yeah.
So it definitely is tight.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah.
Thank you. And there's a couple brands we have that we still have the exclusivity on, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So those are ones that, I mean, we're happy we brought them in when we did. I feel like everyone's going to start catching on to them now.
know.
We're going to lose it, but
That happened with a jewelry brand. We're like, yes, we're the only ones that had it. And then Selfridges got it. I'm like, damn, we're first.
Yeah. You'll
like,
always
we brought
be
this brand
first.
here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when people are coming in, are they saying, do you have this brand? Or is it just like, I don't know any of these brands. I'm obsessed and I'm learning as I'm in stores. It is a mix of both.
It's a mix of both.
Yeah.
I do think predominantly people come in
because of maybe one brand or something like that. So they know we have Doan or they know we have Posse. So they're coming because I know you have this. And then they'll discover a bunch of other brands that they might not have heard of.
Yeah. If it's market weekend and people are like just walking around, popping in, that's when they usually are like, tell me about this. What is this? Because we're surrounded by a lot of vintage stores. So we always get asked, is this new? Is this vintage? What is this? Tell me about your store. But tell me about these brands. So you do have a mix.
And you've probably got that like elevator pitch nailed.
Oh, yeah, literally. Yes, exactly. It's like the same thing every time.
Every time. I'm like, I can't even count how many.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're sat there with a dream of your own shop or your own brand, this next bit is for you. I asked Alyssa and Lily what they would tell somebody starting out, and they gave me 2 things. One costs you absolutely nothing but a dinner and a bit of nerve, and the other one is the thing that they say they would genuinely go back and change. And, you know, I hear the same regret from founders constantly. I'm not going to spoil it.
2 things.
Yeah.
Networking. A huge. Talk to as many people as you can before opening a business. We spoke to someone,
one of my friends who owns a boutique in New York, and we were kind of got drinks and dinner with her, and we're like, okay, we're thinking about doing this.
Yes.
Tell us everything. What do we need to know? Just wanted to like absorb everything that they could share with us because nothing prepares you.
No.
Like
no, but that was
it was helpful.
Very helpful. We walked away and we're like, we can do this.
We can do it.
Yes. So that definitely helps. And then also building your community before.
Yes, which you already mentioned about the content.
100%. Push that before. We should have been, we posted a couple little aesthetic photos, but it wasn't much. You need to take people on the journey. I'm like, people are nosy. They want to know how you started. And like, they probably wanted to see us crying and trying.
Nobody wants to see that.
No, they're sanding the walls like of the store, like taking along, being a part of the
come along the journey with us.
Yeah. Yeah. And what difference do you think that would have made?
I just think it would have built that trust and people would have been very interested to see like what is going to come of this.
Yes.
Like we're seeing these girls on their hands and knees sanding the floor with not an electric sander because there was no power. And they're like, okay, what are they doing here? Like what are they opening? Like, is this going to work in the neighborhood? So I just think it would build that trust with them and get to see a little bit more of our personalities too.
Yeah, and get to know you guys. And the bond that you guys have had.
Yes. They bonded us for life.
Trauma bonded.
100%.
We spend more time with each other than we do with like our partner.
Oh, fully.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Even earlier, because you were saying Monday, which is today, is technically your day off. But here we are. We're together.
We still have our Monday meetings. We're still chatting on Mondays, like 24/7 texting.
Yeah. And retail has changed so much over the past few years. And obviously, with like e-com has changed and COVID and the way people, if you started a business in COVID, I think it's completely different now. But it's like you never knew what it was like pre-COVID, I guess, where there was such like a huge part of in-person shopping. And I feel like people are craving that again and wanting to go into store. And what do you think people get from coming into store that they would just never get online?
the interaction with other people and like the interaction with us, like helping to style items, getting the advice on fit.
Yeah.
Like
nothing compares. I mean, you got to see feeling the fabrics, because sometimes like even when we go buy, there's times that we do it online as opposed to going in person. It is so different.
Yes.
You have to see it on body. You have to feel it. You have to get to meet us.
Yes.
Like, I think it makes such difference than online shopping.
And we built like friendships with some of our customers that way. Like there's some people who just come in the store like, you're not going to buy anything. You just want to chat with us. Like we're just in there. We're like, okay, what's going on? What's the goss?
Yeah.
So you just kind of get that interaction that I feel like you're not going to get from shopping online anymore. Like it's such a fun experience. Like I love, especially when I'm traveling, going to a new city, having a shopping day with my girlfriends. And it's like, okay, we're going to bop around to all the cute little boutiques. Like we're just going to see the cool things that are like selling over here, I guess. And
yeah, because you said you recently went back to New York for your, I'm going to say Hendu, but you say bachelorette. Yeah. And you said you took loads of photos of stores out there. Like, is there anything that they're doing differently out there that you want to kind of bring into your new store that you're going to?
I would say aesthetically, 100%. There was like a lot of inspo I was getting of like how the layout is. Like one thing we were even talking about is getting rid of potentially the cash wrap, like the desk up front, which again changes the shopping experience. Do you have a little seating area where like, okay, one of your friends is trying on, the rest are like sitting there chatting, like do you have drinks or something for them? So it's kind of just that other experience. And then I was also just doing some personal market research, checking out some new brands, shopping a little bit.
That is how we found a couple of our brands, was going into these
places and shopping.
Yeah. So, how often do you go back home?
So multiple times a year, but it's like for weddings and stuff.
Yeah.
But other than that, we don't.
When we go to Paris for like fashion for our buying, we usually like to plan a couple hours where we're
kind of explore
shopping. Yeah, but that's where we found 𝐟𝐸, which has become one of our best selling brands, and we're the only stockist of it here. So,
and what do they sell?
Very different. Denim is one of their best sellers, but it's very different than like we have a Goldie. That's going to be your classics. Your 𝐟𝐸 is going to be a little more unique, things you haven't seen before.
Embroidery, cutouts, just very unique pieces.
They do 𝐿𝐸 means braided in French, so they do a braided design in all of their pieces. So that's one of their signature styles, which is really cool.
And so is that the only French brand you have?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's our only French brand.
Yeah. And is that like your first European brand then?
No, we have a couple others.
Yeah.
We have the scarf, which is Swedish, Soft Goat, which is from Denmark.
Oh, wow.
And
so you're like full-blown international.
Yeah. And we've got a new one coming in that's also from Copenhagen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna butcher it every time. By Malene Berger, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can never say it.
Yeah, it's like that �\𝐸𝐿𝐸 something that does the socks, and every time I see it, I'm just like, I don't understand. I don't know how to say it.
Like you have strong branding because I know exactly what it is, but I can never say it.
Yeah. And when you open the store then, like, let's go back a bit. You were crying, as you said.
Yeah.
Lots of crying.
Lots of crying from this one over here.
But is there anything that and you said you spoke to your friend and you're like, yeah, we can do this, and you had the retail background. Is there anything, like, even after having worked in the industry for 10 years that kind of took you by surprise? Like, you've done all the networking, you've done all the buying, you've spoken to all the brands, and you're like, oh my God, like, I didn't even think about this thing.
It was a learning curve.
It was
fully.
A learning curve.
I don't think anything could have fully prepared us. And honestly, thank God it didn't. We're like, ignorance is bliss in that sense, that we would never have felt fully prepared if we knew what we knew now. We'd be like, kept pushing it back. We're not ready. So honestly, it's better to just
not know
and just try and learn from it, because I think don't be afraid to pivot. Like, we've pivoted from 90% of the brands that we opened with, and honestly, we've kind of like adapted our aesthetic and who our target customer is. It's a bit older than I think what we initially like went in thinking.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to be a little wrong about your initial gut instinct and change that just based off of like the patterns and behavior and the data that you're seeing.
Yeah. And just going for it. Like you said,
just
that ignorance is bliss.
Just go for it.
That naivety is like your best friend at the beginning.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, even my boyfriend has said once, I could start a fashion brand. I'm like, don't do it.
Oh,
He's like, well, how hard can it be?
No,
and I'm like,
our partners are starting one. It's the competitor across the street called 𝐿𝐸.
Yeah. So they're like, we should do it better. We're going to sell all your brands at half off, and it's going to be called 𝐿𝐸.
was
we're
like, okay,
no one's going to
you do that. We'll see.
And I think it's purely because I just know too much. And and I'm like, I'm sure you would do it so well. And this is also not to discourage anyone from seeing who's going to do it. Because if you're going to do it,
you got to do it.
You got to do it.
But
there's never going to be the perfect time.
I come downstairs and be like, oh my God, I've just spoken to these people and they're making like £1 million a year. And he's like, well, why would you not start a brand then? I'm like, oh, I missed out all the bit where they've been doing it for like 35 years.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they had a really good like problem solution. They got a really good ads manager. And then like, I'm like, oh, I'm just giving you like the highlight, 0.1% of the full
Exactly.
story.
You're not seeing what's actually happening in the background.
I know.
Because there's so much of like cash flow, stock management that like, nothing could have prepared us for like dealing with all of that. That's a whole other.
Yeah, and do you think that was the thing that was probably the biggest learning?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, like we just had to wear every single hat. It was just the two of us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been just the two of us pretty much this whole time. And we're like, we are now masters in trying to be masters in everything.
Yes.
So it's a learn as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more from me before we finish. We end up talking about the high street, what it's turning into, and why they deliberately turned down a road that is full of big names to sit on and one full of independents instead. So if you sell anywhere near a physical shop, or you'd like to one day, there is a line coming up about why people are bored of buying the same brands in every single neighborhood.
Our goal would be for another store somewhere in London.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely. Love to expand. I feel like what we're offering isn't in certain neighborhoods that kind of have a similar feel to Notting Hill with that mix of that local and tourist customer. So there's definitely some areas that I think we could tap into. So we've been thinking about that. I mean, honestly, since we opened, we were like, where's the next one? Where's the next one? So we've definitely been thinking a lot about that. And I think just from a high street, people do miss that. Like, you don't want high streets to die out. Like, people love them. They want to be surrounded by local businesses, coffee shops, bookshops, and things like that. So any kind of like small independent, I feel like, should be here to stay.
Yeah. And I actually love that you put a store inside a cafe, because the amount of times it's the other way around where like a shop closes and it gets replaced by a cafe and you're like, yeah, cafes are cute, but how many cafes does one person need?
I know. And there's definitely a lot in our area. Don't get me wrong. There's some amazing ones.
Of
we
course.
love
great
them.
bakeries.
Yes.
Great bakeries.
Yeah.
Great
And that wine bar
restaurants,
next door is really beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They opened
the best.
a year ago. They've been amazing.
Yeah. But I mean, my local area where I go, that they used to have like maybe 4 or 5 different boutiques, and then it was like 3, and then it's like, well, we're only open between Saturday and Monday, and you're just like, I just want to go and mooch around with my girlfriends, like
exactly.
you said, and just and now it's like, this is a cafe, now this is a pizza place, now this is like a microbrewery, and you're like, oh, I can't mooch in a microbrewery.
I know.
Yeah. And I do think people are like tired of shopping the same brands in every single different neighborhood that you go into. Like, there's nothing stopping you from ordering those online anymore.
No, because when we first got here, we were like, okay, should we do it on like Westbourne Grove? And thank God we did it.
We did it.
Beautiful street.
Great area.
But we're like, it's all brands. We want to be different. We want to be in a an area that's all independent.
Yeah. And vintage, like,
and vintage
as well. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love chatting to you guys. Tell people who are listening where they can stay in touch with you, where they can come and see you, find you in store, come and meet you. Give us all of your details.
Well, you can find us on Portobello Road, 333, iconic. You can't forget it.
Yes, it's so easy to remember.
Yeah. You can find us online and then on Instagram, ROVE_London.
Amazing.
And you can always WhatsApp us. We're always here to answer any questions. So
on Instagram.
Yeah. Or you can DM us on Instagram, and we've got a WhatsApp.
We're always the ones responding. So
I'm like,
people
I'm
are
at midnight messaging people.
I was like, actually WhatsApp? Yes.
Actually WhatsApp. WhatsApp. I was on the 2 the other day and a customer called. I'm like, okay, I'm going to answer it now. Like,
I love that.
You never stop anytime.
You can never get that on Amazon. I tell you.
You
Do what Amazon
It's a
can't.
robot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
So that's Alyssa and Lily, Rove London, 333 Portobello Road. You will find them at rove-london.com and on Instagram at rove_London. And if you are anywhere near London, Notting Hill, go and have a proper look at how it's merchandised and go and talk to them. They are so lovely. And the bit I keep coming back to is the WhatsApp. They answer customers at midnight. One of them took a call from a customer on the tube, and I said it in the room, and I'll say it again now. You can never get that on Amazon. So do what Amazon can't. If you take one thing from this episode, let it be that. And if you've been sat waiting to feel ready, take the other one too. They said it themselves. Ignorance is bliss. If they had known then what they know now, they would still be pushing the date back. I should also say that I actually get to work with Alyssa and Lily inside Magnetic, and they are doing such an incredible job with ROVE. If listening to them has left you feeling inspired to get a little bit more intentional with your own marketing, then there are literally just a small handful of spaces left to join us this September 2026. Magnetic is my 6-month marketing accelerator for fashion businesses, where we create an organic marketing strategy from scratch that actually works for you and your business. And then we look at putting it into action together. So if you think you might be a good fit, then get in touch by emailing me hi@elizabethstyles.co.uk for more information, and we can have a chat. Thank you so much for listening, and be brave with your content this week.